Hi everybody, Geraldine Rose here with another thank you card for someone kind enough to subscribe to me. This one's using the color throwdown challenges this week. This was color throwdown 809 in colors of teal, purple, and green. They're over at the colorthrowdown.blogspot.com if you want to go check them out. It's a weekly challenge where typically we have 3 colors that we use. And I knew I owed this lady a thank you card. I hadn't figured it out that she'd actually subscribed a while back. She is one of the biggest boosters and supporters. She is super fun. I'm just really grateful that this is one of the ways that we can use the internet for an avenue of good, meeting these supportive friends through our craft making group. I started out by die cutting a whole bunch of different colors of paper from the Honeybee Grapevine Wreath. That one was Desert Storm in one of the crafts. And then this is a Holiday Brushstroke, the sets number 2 and 3. I went in with some oxide inks and some sprays and some mica sprays and colored them up so that we got a little bit more variation in tone and shading on them. This part I'm having a giggle watching it over because it looks like I'm one of those Japanese sushi chefs flipping things around with chopsticks and carving it up and stuff like that, and I'm just shading the stems. If you like puzzles, the Honeybee and the Sizzix die sets might be a good go-to for you because that's what you're doing, is puzzle piecing stuff back. And you can see I keep referring to the package there to see where I'm supposed to place this. Oh, I'm going to put the berries in right away. They had lighter colored berries like mistletoe, and I got out one of my lighter green Nouveaux. Realized it was a little plugged, went back in later and unplugged it. The color that stands up on the lavender, I used both of the greens on the Distress Spritz sprays. You actually don't end up seeing this too much because I end up chopping those stems off because I'm tucking them into the wreaths in the background. I had painted the base of the lavender heads with the purple tones of the watercolor pencils. Now that they're dry, you can see I'm going back in with a mix of the spritz and the bull mica sprays, dipping the heads in so that they kind of get like blotchy spots of both the shimmer and the shine from both of those 2 types of sprays. With all that leafery and greenery and flowery lined up there on the left, it's time to start the assemblage of this wreath. Tucking in the bigger leaved plants in the background first. And we just go systematically through all of the ones that we've got arranged over there, alternating which ones we're tucking. When I was watching this play back, I was thinking, I wonder if you could do one of these big enough for your front door for an autumn wreath. I can see a lot in my neighborhood have got autumn wreaths out already with the leaves and the branches that we got from the forest beside us or from the craft stores, and they're very 3D. But what if you did a 2D one in paper and then just kept building it up so that it got bigger and bigger and bigger around the outside? And Halloween's coming up. You could do one of these for Halloween too. Goodness, we must all have Halloween die cuts. Oh, and what if you did vellum ghosts and had them hanging from little ribbons or strings and they were blowing in the breeze? Anywho, while all those pieces are drying, pinched together with the Honeybee reverse tweezers, I'm gluing together the wreath bow. This was from metallic cardstock and just offsetting them so it makes it look like it's more of a full bow. Of course, putting some craft tacky glue on the back, putting up what's going to be the spot. And I realized now later, and from the photographs, I've got one spot of that wreath that I still actually need to tuck one last little piece of branch in with it. And you can see it more when you set it on the card. I had embossed the panel with the Spellbinders Plaid Company embossing folder, and I had set it another piece that I had die cut with a scallop lace edge on it, a little bit offset. This is Nina cardstock, scoring that and getting it folded down really, really well. I like this stock because it's quite strong for the card basis. You can get a ream of it on Amazon. It's the Nina Classic Crest 110 pound 4456 you want to look for. I went over that plaid portion of the embossing folder that was raised up with some craft tacky glue. I am putting some of the different colors of foil that I've got on top of it so that it adds a little bit more of that rustic look to it. And of course, I love the shine. So, you know, there's going to be shine in there somewhere. This was the Simon Says stamp, the thanks die. Did a couple layers of that in a purple cardstock that I had put a little bit of, I think it was Uncharted Mariner, the oxide ink over it to have a bit of a gradient in. Pressing it down into Versamark. First embossing powder I'm going to dip this in is into my tub of iridescent sparkle powder. Kind of says a lot about me when you think that the 3 tubs I've got, one's clear, one's white, and one is sparkle. All the others are on my shelves behind, and those ones I do into paper. Second layer is the UT. This is the interference blue. This is an ultra thick. It adds the neatest effect when you melt it and it kind of merges with the other stuff that you got behind it. Comes out different every single time, so it's one of my favorites. We're starting on the sentiments on the inside using the Spellbinders Paint Your World sentiment set. For the top sentiment, again using the green, which is one of the color throwdown colors, and me being me, Gemini, I'm going to mix 2 colors here to get an effect. Again, it's one of the odd things I like doing. The middle sentiment is from Close to My Heart for the Love of Crafting. Again, blending colors. I'm going with the teal colors up towards the one portion, and I'm coming in with the purple colors towards the other. So another effect that it's a gradient on that. It's pretty set. Custom stamp on the back. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to choose from. Gear them to each person, putting our panel on the front with some Crafty glue, so I've got some wiggle room for that. Now for poops and giggles, actually record yourself with a webcam once while you're making a card, and watch how many times you're actually leaning over top of that card. This one I set a block on next to keep it flat before I put the wreath on. But getting back to the webcam and stuff, I've been asked, why are you doing this? You are just a hobby crafter. You can see I don't have affiliate links. I'm just doing it for fun. I see so many, and it's about selling this stamp or that die. And shouldn't it be more about what the cards are for sending out to someone and just having fun making stuff? Anywho, getting back to making stuff, once I set the thanks sentiment up on some foam squares, I thought it needed something still in the middle. And I'm like, oh, you could ruin it right now. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to go in with it anyways, with the Pink Fresh thanks sentiments. Dump in some secondary lines right underneath that thanks die cut. I got away with it. Yay! It worked! And here, of course, we're coming to the bling 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 portion of this broadcast. Geraldine's got out her Pink Fresh ombre glitter drops and tucking them in strategic spots to add a little bit of shine in there on this card. Not that it doesn't have a whole bunch already. Speaking of shine, got out glossy accents. I'm only putting it on a couple of the metallic berries. So some of the berries have got the glossy accent, some are just metallic, and some of the others are the flat tone from when we watercolor painted with them. There's the finished card for this lovely laughy friend from my card making group. I actually made her another one last year. I had no guts to send it at that time. Now I'm starting to send them out. As always, you be that change you want to see in the world, and bye-bye.